He's too bright.
So see anywhere you'd like to sit, welcome. I am Richard Wood, and I'm one of the organizers, along with Danielle is over here, Danielle, and Sean. Where's Sean's outside there? John is out there. John. Okay, he's another organizer. Ruben's not with us here today, I believe, but he's one of our organizers. This is 1 Million Cups. And how many people first time? First time? Oh, terrific, terrific. Well, first of all, welcome. The way this gig goes is 6 minutes of a pitch, and then 20 minutes Q&A. And then we do kind of an intermission little transition, and then we go 6 minutes, 20. Okay? 10 o'clock, we're wrapped. And then people can stay and chat for a little bit, and then that's it. And you probably know, but just as a quick overview, this was started in Kansas City, Missouri by the Kauffman Foundation, which is a $2 billion organization. And right now, depending on the time zone, this is happening all throughout the United States. And so that's part of the fun of it, and the education of it, and the excitement of it. And what we're going to do is I'm going to kick off right away. This is going to be Easy Directory. We have Jeff and his wife Susan. And please welcome.
Good morning. First, I'd like to say thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to come and listen to what we have to say this morning. I know how valuable your time is, and we very much appreciate it. Necessity is the mother of invention. And Sue and I have found this in particular in our case. We normally are web developers, and we specialize in the Google Cloud. And as part of what our normal life is, we also are members of several civic and social organizations that we do the websites for. And over the years, it's been just a very difficult thing to be able to help groups manage their membership directories. And if you remember of any kind of group or an organization, you're probably familiar with having a printed membership directory. It's normally set at home on your desk or at your office. And when you need the information, it's not available to you. And we were looking for a better solution for the groups that we were members of. And we searched the internet for months. There was nothing available that would satisfy the needs and the requirements that we wanted to be able to have in the system. So for us, necessity was the mother of invention because we decided to be able to go off and make it. Am I pointing at the wrong place? Turn it off. The Easy Member Directory System is a cloud-based system that creates a private digital membership directory that can be safely and securely distributed to a group's members on their Android iPhones. So this isn't something that's generally available to everybody in the world to be able to see. Only the members of a group who have been authorized to be able to see the information are able to view our directory. It works for virtually any type of business, social, organization, clubs, teams, any group that needs to be able to provide their members with a membership directory, this will work for it. The Easy Member Directory is based on a system which for clubs and groups and organizations is really great because it's free. It's free for any association or organization that wants to be able to implement it. And we have a program called the Easy Member Directory Builder Program, which runs on your desktop PC, that allows you to be able to choose from up to 44 fields of information that you can have for someone, their phone number, their email contact, their website, Facebook page, if they have it and such. We have the ability to be able to have 9 JPEG images in a member's record. So for example, in my club, my organization, we have a picture of each one of the members. We have a picture of each one of the members' spouses. And the organization awards 6 different awards to the groups that they have graphic images for. And we can put those images in each person's record. When we're at an event and we're trying to figure out who goes with who, it's very easy to be able to look up and see, oh, that's John's wife. It's a very great tool for new members joining the organization. organization. But this is the Directory Builder program, and as I said, it's free to any organization. It can be downloaded from the web, from our website. One of the great things about the Easy Member Directory system is not only do we make it available on the phone, but we create one cloud database. That cloud database is always current, so you're not dealing with multiple different databases. And we can take that same database and make it available as a web page. We also are able to capture all the current active emails for the group to be able to do your group mailings. And one of the local groups that we came to, or that we're working with, came back to us and said, mailing labels are a nightmare for us. We are able to purge out and by name, address, city, state, zip on a mailing label, and end the problem of creating mailing labels for the organizations. The directory, as I said, is private and password protected, and it's only available to the members of your group that you authorize to be able to see it. So their username is their email, and then there's a user key that's generated by the system, which is unique. One of the great things about the Easy Member Directory system is this does me no good if I'm in my car trying to contact someone. It's of no value. If I have it on my phone, it's of a great deal of value to me. I've always got it with me where I need it. Members are able to update their own directory information, and that's a really important key to what we've done. The group that I'm a member of, I had a friend that joined with me in 2008, and they put a piece of information in wrong about him in 2008. It was never corrected until 2013 because they kept forgetting to be able to correct the information on it. Members are able to update their own information. It's easy to use and it makes it a very manageable task. We, even for people who don't have smartphones, have the ability to be able to export a PDF file, and you can email that to the people so that people who don't have a smartphone can still have a directory with it. Our apps are paid for by the individuals who choose to download the app onto their phone. It's available from Google Play or from the Apple App Store for $4.99. So again, that makes it free to any organization, club, group, to be able to put the system in. And the last thing is, people who have used the system, we've got it implemented. It's fairly new. We just introduced it in July of last year. We've got it installed in quite a number of organizations, from PTAs and PTOs. Rotary clubs are starting to use it. We're involved with Gasparilla crews here in the Tampa Bay area. We've got about a half a dozen of the Gasparilla crews that are using the Easy Member Directory. People absolutely love the application, and it's used in so many different ways. We've been so surprised. It works. You have an address, you need to know to go to somebody's house, you press the address, it loads a Google map. We were going to a party not too long ago, and one of our members was going by boat. He said, I'd never been to the person's house. All of a sudden I discovered I had no idea where I was going. I got out your directory, loaded the Google map, and I navigated there by boat. So what we have done, we believe, with the Easy Member Directory is we've done the same thing that a cell phone has done to a pager. We've made it obsolete. Again, my name is Jeff Etter, my wife Sue Etter, and our website, Easy Member Directory. And we will help any group or organization that wants to create a directory, get it set up, and be workable. So if you have any questions, please.
Can you upload this to an Excel spreadsheet and then download it into like
You can export this into an Excel spreadsheet and do whatever you want with it. In fact, you can start off with an Excel spreadsheet and then upload that to the Google Cloud. So either way, they work the same. Any other questions?
Yes.
Does it have, or have you thought about adding a calendar function so that different meetings and everything will be updated on the calendar?
The question is, do we have a calendar function available? And the answer is yes. We work with what are called Google Apps for business, nonprofit, or education accounts. They're a competitive product to Microsoft Office. And one of the functions that Google has is Google Calendar. We have the ability to be able to use the Google Calendar in the Easy Member Directory. So you have one calendar that everybody in the directory has access to. We also can put in other types of calendars if you have something that you want to use, but we recommend Google Calendar for doing that. Yes?
My niece just went to work for a local company called Your Membership. Is that a competitor? Do you know about that?
Your Member Directory?
I think it's called Your Membership.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them, and in one way they would be a competitor, but in another way they're a totally different kind of an animal than what we are. They're web-based as opposed to app-based on it. And those systems, as an example, for the organization that I'm a member of, were prohibited because they charge for SQL data storage. There's ongoing monthly fees that are associated with them. And then the users don't have the ability to be able to update their information directly. We found that was key with any organization in order to keep the directory current. So that is a solution out there, and there are a number of companies that make those types of products available via the web. But they're not app-based, and they don't do what we do. We do some very unique things with our system. Yes?
Is it possible, or does it make any sense to do, collect money, fees, or anything through the directory, through the membership? So is there where you can actually pay the dues for the club or for whatever somehow in our group that we go to, like whether it's PayPal, connected up to PayPal, or connected up to some other way of payment?
The question is, having payments through the directory, and the answer is that's probably not the best place to process it. The better place to do that type of function is typically on the web. But we have done something that ties into that that's fairly unique. And as I mentioned, we have a number of PTOs and PTAs that have started to use the system. And with those organizations, with their paper-based directory, they normally would have a sponsor that the local insurance company or the sporting goods store or whatever that sponsored printing their PTO directory, and they get an advertisement in it. We have the ability to have multiple different types of directories in here. And as an example, in my cruise directory, we have members, we have the events, which is the Google Calendar link, and then our board of directors and such. We just did one that has 9 different groups in their board and all the other things. With the PTO, they came back and they said, we make significant revenue that helps pay for our organization by the advertisement in our directory. Well, one of the things that we did with them was that they created a directory in there for sponsors. And their sponsors were able to have their logo, their business address, phone. They can update the specials that they're running and such. And the question becomes, as an advertiser, where would you rather have your advertisement? Sitting in a desk drawer at home, or on the person's phone that they carry with them all the time? So on Friday night after the ball game, they say, well, let's go to the pizza place, we'll call that number. So they actually have increased, in the 2 that we've got installed at this point that are using that approach, they actually have significantly increased their advertising revenue from the people being part of the directory. They still kept their printed directory, but they made the supplemental Easy Member Directory, and then they created the advertising for the sponsors, and they charged them an extra $300 to $500 a year to be part of that sponsorship directory. Yes, sir.
How many, what do you see the conversion rate as far as the downloads are concerned? Because that's where it looks like bulk of money or revenue is being generated versus the number of members.
At this point, we're still fairly new with it. We started our first installations in the June timeframe. Because of the way that Google and Apple report, it's hard to be able to tell exactly that. But as an example, with my organization, we've got probably in excess of 70% of the members have downloaded the app. In Sue's organization, I would assume that it's a similar number, if not a little bit higher. Many of the different groups are just coming on now, and you see that maybe a third to a half will initially download the application. And then as time goes on, because what happens is people start talking about, oh, this is incredible, I really love this thing. You don't have their phone number, we'll get the Easy Member directory. And Sue, in fact, was in a funny situation a few weeks ago, that she was over at a facility where we store all the Gasparilla floats to work on. And she was working on her float, and all of a sudden, one of the guys talking to somebody else said, hey, you need to call such and such. He said, well, I don't have his number. And he said, you haven't got your Easy Member directory on your phone yet? And I said, no, what's that? And he said, it's this incredible program. And she's sitting over there with a big grin on her face. We went to one of our events recently, a couple months after we put the system in with my group. And probably in the span of 3 or 4 hours, I had a dozen people walk up to me and say, this is the best app I've ever put on my phone. It's one of the few ones that really does something that I needed to have done. So word of mouth has been very important. And what we've found is that people that have the directory system in will go and they will tell another organization that they're a member of. And, you know, we've tried advertising with Facebook, and we've done some Google AdWords advertising. We've done lots of email. The best thing that's happened for us is one person puts it on their phone, and they go to another group that they're a member of and say, you really need to look at this. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I apologize if you may have already covered this, but so you've got an organization with many members using this directory program. Is it possible for an individual member to associate with more than one organization?
Yes. We have the ability to be able to have multiple directories present in the phone at the same time. So if you're a member of, you know, a Kiwanis Club and you're a member of something else, you can have multiple directories on your phone.
You log out of one and log into the other, because each directory runs on the information that you provide, which is your user key and your email address. So whichever those two things correspond to, that is the directory that you will see active on your phone.
Yes, sir.
About how much money can you save a business or increase business revenue?
Well, with my particular group, we have 100 members. And each year we spend about $1,200 printing up a very nice 4-color directory on there. It took weeks and weeks for the people to be able to set the directory up and get it to the printer. Then you have to distribute it out to the members. This is automatic. It eliminates all of those printing things. The update process each year was just a nightmare, having to send out emails that says anybody's phone number's changed, anybody's address changed, and it just didn't get done properly. We
And
reprinted.
what was the cost to your crew to get this out?
No, it was about $1,200 a year total.
So that was each year, and then each year they would go through and print up pages that were changed and hand you booklets of pages that were changed, and then they'd have to also buy new booklets for the new people and give changes to the old people, so everyone was taking these things home, going through, alphabetizing, taking them apart, putting them back together. And the wonderful thing about this is that if you're in a crew or a group, organization, or you're even a business where you have to maybe try to be in contact with hundreds of people, you're not going to go around with your telephone and say, okay, what's your name, what's your phone number? But if you join a group or a club that has this implemented, the first time that you go there and you sign in and you get it, you on your phone then will be able to download all 200 people without having to go around and say, who are you, what's your phone number? Also, you get a little picture of people. If they do it correctly, they'll upload a picture, so the next time you're there, you can look at it and say, oh yeah, I remember that's Tom. And then you go, hi Tom, how you doing? I remember your name, hi, you know, and really you just look at the picture, so.
Yes.
Have y'all considered marketing this towards like the college crowd? Because a lot of students are involved in multiple clubs, and moreover, they're very tech savvy. So I think this would be really marketable for we college students.
Thank you. Yeah, we are trying to get into the college market. If you can help us in any way, we're here. Yes, we'd love to.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a minimum size of organizations you want to have? I mean, what about a homeowner association? You have 10, 20 houses in it.
Well, we're very firm on one being the smallest size.
Okay.
And We haven't reached the limit of how big it can be, but for a small group, it's very easy to be able to implement something like this. To give you an idea of the size of the groups that we have, we decided we were going to create what we call public directories. Now, the normal directories are private, username, password, but we also said there's general public directories that we think people have need or desire to have access to. So as an example, I did the entire U.S. Congress, all 535 members, in directories that was in the Senate for Republicans, Democrats, House Republicans, Democrats, and Independents on the thing. Their names, phone numbers, website contact addresses, everything with that you can download, that's free. We have a friend of mine who's an attorney, and he said, you know, I have the biggest problem that I'm always late for a meeting with the judge and chamber, and I'm having to call my assistant to be able to get the judge's phone number to be able to do that. It'd be really great if we could have like the judge. Well, I went through and I spent weeks creating a Florida court system where we have the entire court system for the state of Florida, every judge, judicial assistant, we have every police department, every coroner, every piece of information for every judicial system in the state of Florida. And it's about 3,500 people that are included in that directory. And it really, if you are an attorney and you're having to try and locate court reporters in Pensacola, that's a fabulous tool for doing that. So we've done things like the Ohio legislature, the New York legislature and such, and we create any kind of public directory and put it up that somebody has a database for.
Have you targeted lobbyists to subscribe to this?
We attempt to avoid dealing with the evil empire.
Hi, do you have a position directory?
No, we don't. We've been contacted by a medical group or two that have said we'd like to put our physicians on this, but at this point we haven't had anybody that's moved forward doing that. The process is very easy though. It's very easy because I don't do it. Sue is the genius in our operation. But if someone has a membership directory that they have as an Excel spreadsheet, they can send that to us and we can set it up for them very rapidly within a period of a day or so. So unlike, you know, the traditional printed member directories, this can be turned around in a matter of 24 to 36 hours of having a really great directory for any organization. Yes, sir.
What's your business model? Is it just the income from the apps?
Yes. And the directory builder program that we showed was a pretty significant effort to be able to put together, and it's some very innovative technology. We're probably the first people that have done what we have done the way that we've done it, because we've eliminated the need for an SQL database by using the Google Cloud. There are a massive number of groups and organizations, and we know many of them are underfinanced. Boy Scouts. Well, we don't want to charge the Boy Scouts $100 for a program to put a directory in, or any of these other groups. So we said, let's make it free to the organization, and then let's make it minimal cost to the individuals in the organization, a one-time charge of $5. So what we tried to do is create a model that was affordable for a small organization. It's not going to pay for our new penthouse in New York City, but we think that it actually is a very sustainable model because there are probably 2 or 3 million groups, baseball teams, Kiwanis clubs in the United States, and tens of millions of members. Yes, sir.
Have you all looked into maybe corporate executive trainings with the program as far as another revenue stream?
Not yet. We've focused on, we identified specific markets that we wanted to try and go at to start off with. Fraternities and sororities at college universities because the kids are so tech savvy with it. Clubs, groups, business organizations. We believe this is a fabulous tool for a business just to be able to have your employee directory on the phone. And it's one of those situations where you may have 100 employees, but you only want to have 20 managers have the access to the directory. Only people that you access or authorized to have the directory have it. So you can have a much larger database. So each one of your managers can know exactly who's in their department. If they need a home phone contact, we don't have a lot of snow days here in Florida. But if it's 11 o'clock at night and you decide to close the company tomorrow because it's a snow day, each one of your managers could have their staff group available to them on a directory like this.
How would that work with the costs for downloading the app? Can the business absorb that cost, the $4.99, $5.99 is for the app?
There is a way to be able to do that, and Google and Apple do everything in the world they can to discourage making that easy to do, because they make revenue off every time an app is sold. We have the ability to be able to customize the Easy Member Directory for organizations that want, and our logo comes up as the icon on the screen, and we've had potential clients come and say, we would like to have our logo as opposed to yours for this, and we'd like to be able to make it free to our employees and us pay the license